Hello everybody, welcome back. This time we're going to be playing more Pioneer Grixis, but it's post-ban, the triple banning of Copter, of, what's it called now? Field of the Dead, and of Once Upon a Time has just happened, so hopefully the format is going to be a little bit more to my taste. Sorry, this has got mixed up. That's better. So, yeah, this is the list as I intend to play it today. It is slightly tweaked from previous videos. I've added some magma sprays in addition to the fatal pushes because I wanted more cheap interaction. Everyone seems to be casting Elvish Mystics these days. And I wanted exile removal for things like Blood-Soaked Champion, although it's possible that's less relevant now without Copter. I've added a Bedevil as an additional answer to like Okos and stuff because I feel like Sultai might just be the best deck. And actually, weirdly, I've decided to add an Ugin as well, which might look out of place. But I had no answers in my 75 to Resolved Enchantments, that's part of it. And the other reason is, I felt like one more threat would be a good thing, basically. It may not be the best threat. I mean, off the top of my head, it doesn't seem better than Chandra Torch of Defiance or Chandra Awakened Inferno on Rate or Scarab God or an extra Kalitas or whatever. But in the small amount of testing I have done with it, it's been fantastic. I think the card is at least worth thinking about, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying it. See how it goes. Being able to like play it, kill a Planeswalker, and then obviously just manifest forever is really good. It's not quite manifest. You know what I mean. So, yeah, we were struggling against like field decks before. So hopefully this will get a bit better. This hand seems fine. We get to strip apart the opponent's plan, unless of course they get under us. Here comes the Elvish Mystic. Almost. It's like everyone's just on green decks again. I don't really know why. Well, I do. It's because mana acceleration is good. But it isn't fun, and we're here to have fun. Please don't have two very strong 3-drops, opponent. They do not. They have one very strong 3-drop, which is gone. And I'm operating under the assumption they're either an Aetherworks Marvel deck, or that Ulamog is ambitious. Yeah, Marvel. Okay. So we're going to get rid of that terrifying Nissa. We don't really need that. And opponent's hand is just those two. So, I imagine it's hard for them to cast an Ulamog without hitting it off a Marvel or a Nissa doubling their lands. I hope, at least. That is crazy, they're not playing the breeding pool. This one... I guess I'll top that. And I guess I'll cast it just because I know that I'm most likely using my turn on Dig Through Time next turn. Puts another card in the graveyard. Makes next turn feel a bit better. Yeah, they remembered to play the breeding pool this time. Okay, well, nothing's changed. I'm going to just dig in the end of their turn, I suppose. If we do it later, we'll have more idea of what we're dealing with. They might play an Oko or something. That's a something. I would quite like to be able to Dreadbore that, so I suppose that's the downside to the decision I made. Blue stuff. Take an Ugin and a Thoughtseize because we don't need more lands. Bit of an underwhelming dig. It's a good magic card. Let's just Thoughtseize them. Okay, see you later. I'd have actually rather taken the land right now, I think. I clearly am not going to Field of Ruin them with a tracker in play. So I guess it's looking like they're going to get at least 2 cards out of the tracker, which is bad. But then, once we've got an uncontested Ugin, we're going to get 1,000,000 cards as well. Yeah, I've shocked and Thoughtseized twice, so this tracker is going to put me down to like 10, maybe 9. So I do need to be conscious of that. It's not a large amount of lives. So they still have an Aether Hub in hand. That's still their last card. And I don't want to flip my Jace because I need it to block the Mystic. I need to remember that. To untap with my Ugin. Okay, nothing's changed. The plan is still the plan. Kill that thing. Makes tons of sense to put a counter on it before it dies. It's very tight play from opponent. I suppose it doesn't make sense not to do it either, but I feel like by doing it they're trying to prove a point that isn't there to be proven, and I'm confused and annoyed now. Yep. Get a bit more information. Hang on, which one did they take? So Forest. They took a Breeding Pool. And they cast an Emery. So that should be their hand if I've done an okay job of keeping track of things. I probably haven't. Okay. Let's loot. It's a bad card. Gear Hulk, hello. I still cannot loot again with Jace yet, because I can't risk not having a way to deal with one of these and losing my Ugin. Yep, okay. So that's all of our used up information. Oh shit. That's a big thing. Should have tried to kill the Emery maybe. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 with the Mystic. Ballista for 4. Jesus. Well, that'll teach me not to pay enough attention, won't it? I imagine they start by killing Ugin. Okay, they deal 1 to Jace, that's fine. When they deal the second one, I will loot. Ooh, hello. Hello. Bolus is so good, honestly. A Ballista killing those 2 is also really good, but now it's gone. I can play a Bolus and minus it on the Emery. Or I can just kill the Emery. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if I play the Urborg, I think I can do it, right? Kill that. Blue, red, black, black, black. Plus it. Probably just knock a food out. still drawing cards. I would really like to be able to trade off this spirit for something and get my Gear Hulk. Don't think that's going to happen somehow. Opponent's deck is weird. I've seen 0 Aetherworks Marvels, but it looks like an Aetherworks Marvel deck. Okay, you got it. That's a good one. Little do they know that giving me a way to kill the spirit is really good. Bolus, me. Well, I still chump block here. Because I still want the card. Bolus goes to 4, is that right? He goes to 3, okay. I see why they did that. They wanted to get the bolus low enough that if I want to kill the Nissa, I have to sacrifice it. Well, that was fortunate. Get rid of another food, I would imagine. Okay, so the plan is to block with Gear Hulk and either dig through time or drown in the lock something, depending on what's going on. And I think we're winning. I mean, we should be winning because we're probably going to untap with a bolus again. So I think I'd rather dig. Oh, moot point. I was going to say I think I'd rather dig through time than do the other thing. So Radiant Flames is kind of in the deck for these matchups where you've got Oko tokens and Nissa tokens and things that have less than 3 toughness, basically. So Radiant Flames comes in. I think Noxious Grasp comes in. And I haven't really seen enough to make me need anything else. In spite of the work it did that game, Ugin and Tasuga and my sort of slower top end can probably go. And I guess there's a bit less requirement for cheaper removal if I've got the Radiant Flames in. So we'll try that for game 2 and 3. Hopefully just 2, of course. Trying to, you know, get the 5-0, 10-0 situation, which I've never done. One lander, pretty bad. That's going back. More than one land seems decent. It's a shame about the way the lands work. Although, if we can kill a turn 1 Dork with the Magma Spray, then I won't be too upset. We can indeed. Good. Come on, deck. That's not actually the deck's fault, is it? Come on, opponent. Okay. Yep. But they didn't play it. Okay, they've got another one, sure. Just getting all the lands out of their deck and getting a load of. Oopsie, need black mana. Come on, Chris, you're meant to be relatively smart. Oh dear, it's a dodgy hand opponent. Probably should have mulliganed. Yeah, I'm gonna most likely end up fielding end of turn. I'll wait though in case they play like a tireless tracker or something that I want to kill with my grasp. But I really just want to put things in the graveyard. Sorry about that. We're in the opponent's upkeep, so I've been ruining their day as well as yours. Sorry, that was rude of me to check my message then. Yep, you can have a goose. That seems fairly bad. I presume there's a land coming. And then we're going to kill this one. What do I want? A basic swamp? For bolus considerations. Gearhulk is fab. So I'm playing that tapped, and I probably don't grasp the goose because they can still get to 5 this turn for Nissa, and I think 5 is the scarier amount rather than 6, and if they play a Nissa I'd rather I kept the grasp for it. I think we can beat a goose. Okay. Okay, that's not really a surprise. They don't have enough energy to activate it yet. We've got an Abrade, a Bedevil, a Cake Command. Oh, hang on. So what are they doing? They're making mana off of the... Okay, that makes some sense, yeah. Yeah, I maybe should have responded. Okay, lesson learned. Not Ulamog, not Ulamog, not Ulamog, not Ulamog. Nissa is fine. We can grasp her to death. Yep. I'd quite like to... Like, I'm not super worried about them activating Marvel in the next turn or two, but I would like to remove it sooner rather than later. Drown. So I can drown this. No, I can't because I need double blue. So the best I can do is this, isn't it? Having a dig in the graveyard is the best place for it. A Braid is great. So my choices are a Braid for the Marvel. Yeah, I think I need to take a Braid and push. And just hope to draw the 6th land for the Gearhulk fairly soon. Because I would rather be able to... Do you know that... that triggered ability is going to get me because they're going to make more. They're going to make more energy than I'd accounted for. Yeah, I'd rather answer things one for one and eventually stabilise with the Gearhulk. Okay, so we know their whole hand, and they've done that presumably so they can F6. So we destroy that. And that's great. Happy, happy. And I guess I'll kill this. No, I'd rather have access to drown. I can kill it end of turn. One more food shouldn't matter. There we go. they make the food and then they F6. Land. No, okay. Well, dead goose. And pass the turn, and they've just got that stupid Ulamog sitting there being stupid. Eventually we're going to Gear Hulk the dig, which should find us a piece of hand attack to take the Ulamog away. Or we could just do this. This is good too. Hooray for top decks. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 mana so far. So we've got several turns, assuming they just hit running lands before the Ulamog becomes a problem. Scoos would be a problem if I didn't have this push in my hand. It would be annoying if they ate all of my big spells, though. They can eat 4 more things. Yep. Wow. No respect for Into the Story, and it's going to bite them because I'm about to recast it. Well, let's start by killing this. And then we'll draw shitloads of cards because they didn't have any respect, the bastards. Respect my 4th of zeros, you rotter. I probably should have just discarded the Watery Grave, honestly. Because I still cycled the Fetid Pools, that may have been bad. I was just thinking that it's permanently tapped was the logic, but no, I would have been better off just having one that I could cycle. But still, we have 1,000,000 cards. The opponent doesn't know they're all lands, and they got bored. Hooray! So, let's keep going. I love this Grixis deck. I've been doing so badly with it recently. Like, it was great when the metagame was new, because everyone was playing slightly worse decks, but as the decks have, like, homogenized and got better, especially, like, field decks, it's just been horrendous for me. But some of the cards I was having problems with were Copter and Field, and they're both gone. So, I'm quietly confident that my deck is playable again. Mr. Dynamite. Those of you growing up in the UK of my generation will be familiar with a singer called Miss Dynamite. She had at least one big hit. Maybe this is her brother. If it is, that's very exciting, because as I understand it, her brother is the rapper Akala, of whom I'm a big fan. So, nice to meet you, Akala. Looking forward to playing Magic against you, even though you're a professional rapper that probably doesn't play Magic. Anyone know any rappers that play Magic? There aren't any. There aren't any. Ooh, Teamer. Is this like the Teamer good stuff pile? With the Okos and the things. Gate to the Afterlife. So this is a Godfarer's Gift deck, playing green, and I don't understand. But I'm very glad that I've got a K command in my hand. It's going to look excellent next turn when I go pew pew. This costs how much? Pay 2, tap, sack, put it onto the battlefield. Only if there's 6 or more creatures in your graveyard. Yeah, we've got plenty of time. Plenty of time. So they're going to do some self-milling, presumably. A Ballista. That's kind of self-milling. What happened there? Whenever you may draw a card if you do discard a card. Okay, cool. So they use their Walking Ballista to loot. And oh god, they're going to get 6, aren't they? Oh god. This is some pretty gnarly deck building. I hope I don't get punished. What Well, I did think about dreadboring the goose, but actually, in retrospect, that wouldn't have helped. Hope of Girapur, you can have that, mate. That looks rubbish. Emery's fucking good here. Please don't hit loads. Okay. You're going to sack your hope? You're not. That seems like a massive error. I'll do the thing that makes me far ahead then. Nice 0 cards opponent. This deck is fucking nuts. I don't really understand. I was a little bit scared for a moment, and now I'm the least scared I've ever been, and just confused. I'll just play a Kalitas, shall I? I imagine they have a hard time beating Kalitas into Bolus. Oops, this one. In fact, Bolus is absurd against them. Oh, don't have a counter spell. No, they don't. Okay. Bolus is absurd because they have... I think I forgot to Jace last turn. They have got so few resources that plussing it is like 25% of what they've got. Okay. Yep. These might be even worse than Blood Crypt actually, but I just don't think it matters. I don't think anything matters anymore. I would concede if I was the opponent. No. They are plucky, if nothing else. Cool. Well, I don't really understand. Ego? Probably is good. Like, how do you try and deal with a deck that just wastes its own resources for the fun of it? I don't really understand. Anyway, let's bring the egos in. This hand is pretty fucking perfect, isn't it? We've got 4 good spells, the mana to cast them, and like it's hard to imagine how it goes wrong from here. I don't know if I'm supposed to fatal push that or not. I would have fatal pushed a mana creature, but the idea of putting creatures in their graveyard for no reason fills me with dread. But I'm going to do it anyway, because I've got to use my turn. Well, I don't have to. I want to use my turn. Okay. Well, I'm just going to play it safe, I suppose. So they've got 2 gates, which I guess are shit without... Take the Padeem. Top that. I seem to remember Padeem is some kind of artifact-related card advantage. Yeah. So they play a gate. And they presumably play a ballista for 0 like they did before, I don't know. No, they learnt their lesson because it was awful last time. I'm going to just name Godfarer's Gift and see what happens. Oh, is it God-Pharaoh? Good old Modo. They've got 1, okay. Right, get a look at this, people. This is the future. So the Okos are probably the scariest thing. It's Oko and 56 bad cards. I forgot to pay attention to what their hand is. I know it's those two. Yep. That seems a bad use of your resources, if I'm completely honest. Okay, you can have that. In my infinite niceness, I will allow that. I'm so confused. We've played against some weird, like, combo decks. Combo decks being propped up by Oko seems to be the new hotness. But I suppose it's working in literally every constructed format. So maybe I shouldn't be so disrespectful. Yes, you can have that. Although that is potentially a problem. Ah, they got bored. Way. Well, let's keep trying. Oh, I wonder how much weirdness we're going to run into now, because those bans probably made a lot of people have to rethink their life and their deck choices and their, I don't know, faiths, long-term relationships, dinner plans. If your deck loses 8 cards, you're going to question a lot. I am maybe not deliberately, but just I always end up solidly locking into like tier 2 strategies and therefore never being a victim of bannings, which is it's either a sign that I pick decks wrong, or I guess possibly it means I'm being nice. I don't know. This hand is a tad clunky with the mana. Like, if we had a Steam Vents instead of a Wandering Fumarole, I'd be happier. I'm still going to keep it. It interacts with most things. I hope Magma... Like, I've thought about Wild Slash because of being able to go after Planeswalkers. I hope I don't get... Ooh. This is exotic. 0/2 Tribal. There must be a reason. Red mana. Okay, fine. There must be a reason behind this deck, and I want to know it. Usually if I see this, I assume In Soul Artifact isn't very far away. Not an Oko. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yep. Here we go. we have to. This could take a while. Okay, yeah, you got a 3/3. Yep. This could take a while. Or we could die very quickly. Or we could draw a Dreadbore. Look at how much better this game is for us if the red source is untapped. We don't have to deal with an Oko. We can then Thought Erasure it and like just win. I assume they might have an amazing hand. Yep, we are getting beaten to death. Successfully limited their mana. I guess I have to drown in the lock a creature plus cast an opt looking for a Dreadbore. Maybe I should cast the opt now in case I actually hit the Dreadbore. That's kind of removal because it blanks their attackers for until it gets turned into an elk. Okay. So this exiles that and allows me to cast another opt looking for an answer to the Oko. I think that's my preference. Scrap Heap Scrounger is another one of the annoying recursive things that Magma Spray is great against. Bomat, Hell's Horses. This deck is super aggressive. We're very close to being dead. I think I am dead, is the honest answer. So I'm going to 4 here. Okay. Well, that could keep me alive potentially, but not really. Okay, so super low curve artifact aggro. So we want to drop our curve 2. Radiant Flames seems important. Epic Downfall for the Scroungers is probably good enough. Noxious Grasp is good enough. Lily is debatable. The only thing we've seen that it kills so far is Bomat. And then what we can't afford is anything slow. Oops, we want that one. There we go. Let's try this. Just as much killy kill as possible. Lots of answers to Oko. Lots of things that kill artifacts. I don't know. That game one didn't feel like a lot had to go wrong for us to die. But with that said, as I was trying to point out during the game, I think if we're on the play or our mana's better or both, we like the game looks completely different. Yeah, I'll keep this. It is a touch awkward, but we'll be alright. The basic island bedevil is nice. That's really helpful, that. Okay. I suspect they're running a really low land count from the fact they got stuck on 2 in the previous game and all their stuff costs 1, 0 or 2. You can probably play like 18 lands or something in that deck. Emery, you say? Well, fuck me. That's good here. This deck is nuts. At least Drown is now turned on. Because I've got to kill that Emery ASAP. Okay, so I'm going to play that tapped, and I'm going to drown the Emery. Because I don't want to have to deal with Heart of Kiran over and over and over again, basically. That sounds scary. Maybe I should have just mulliganed looking for a Radiant Flames. I don't know. I can afford to keep taking 1. I can blow the Heart of Kiran up if they crew it. Next turn. Bolus is helpful. Basic Mountain isn't very helpful because it means I need a black source basically to cast Bolus next turn. Which is literally my whole plan. Yeah, that's fine, yeah. And by fine, I mean really hard to deal with. But at least it doesn't kill me. Red, black, black. Come on, Radiant Flames off the top. Emery with Bomat Courier is quite nice, actually. Because you discard your hand, and if there's artifacts in it, you can just reuse them. There's good deck building. Yeah, I have to give that credit. Well, Bolus goes up to 5, so I can play him safely. And just pray for no Walking Ballista, I guess. Opt is, I guess, marginally better than average. I'd have rather had a Radiant Flames. Ooh, a Shrapnel Blast. Well, fuck me. If that's what... If they're discarding a thing that kills the Bolus, what the fuck is in their hand? It's probably pretty good. That's my feeling. I don't want it to be good. Don't be hasty, don't be hasty, don't be hasty. Like a Courier or a Ballista would really annoy me. Oh, it was another Shrapnel Blast. Okay, fine. Well, this is acceptable. Bolus did what he's meant to do, which is traded for a ton of resources. Hey! Let's do it again. This time, they don't have any cards in hand, so they have to exile something. They might pop the Courier in response. Or maybe they'll give up the Aether Hub or something. I do love just ripping endless boli. I'm assuming the plural of bolus is boli. Nikolai Boli. That's not how language works, Chris. You're talking shit. Sorry for talking shit. What are they attacking? They haven't declared yet. Bolus. Okay, good. So he's sort of padding my life total a bit. I'm assuming they pop the Courier now, but that's a good one. Not very good. What have you got? I've got a Drowned Catacombs, which isn't very good. Can't claim to be too enthusiastic about that. I kind of need to lean pretty hard on this Opt. If the Opt finds me more nothings, I'll be deaded. Okay. Come on, Opt. Fuck. Okay. Well, we have to let them attack. Then I have to use Vantress and hope, basically. I'm hoping they'll send both at Bolus because I've got all this open mana and it looks risky to attack him with one. Yeah, both at Bolus. So I just have to let him die. Which is very sad, but he did good work. Yep. we're in trouble. And Soul, okay. I do have some answers to that, but not very many. Epic Downfall is a good one. How is that not a creature? Oh, converted mana cost. Fuck. I thought it was power, and now I've punted. That's like a punt and a half, isn't it? Fudge. Oh, that was stupid. I need to read my cards. Yeah, that shouldn't even be in the deck. I was thinking it could exile these. That's why I brought it in. But it doesn't work. Now the only thing that saves us is like 2 white mana and a Settle Wreckage. Which we don't have, because science. Okay, well I can kill that. And I have to do it with the trigger on the stack. So they can't use it to crew the heart. Because then they've got lethal. And we don't like lethal. Oh, I don't really know why I'm playing out, because I feel as though my best top deck cannot save me. Trying to think of anything that can. Let's find out. I know obviously I could block with Fumarole, but I feel like I need a Hail Mary. So this puts me to 2. So that has to go to the bottom as well. Not that I think there's a single card in my deck that can save me. I'm surprised though. Like I'm a bit saddened by this game because I felt like we were winning for the majority of it, and then yeah, that'll do. I think. I don't think we're beating that. Okay. That's the 3rd confusing deck in a row, which just randomly plays Oko. I don't. Is he just so good you can stick him in strategies where he makes no sense and it's still the best card? Because that's the impression I'm getting. Ugh. Let's keep going, see if we can get a 3-2 or a 4-1. What's going on? Okay, it requires the Thoughtseize to do a lot of work, but I think I'll keep. I really like the idea of having Bolus and Ugin in play at the same time as like yin and yang, bastard and nice guy, etc. Well, that's not a land that makes this hand look very good, is it? Yeah, I don't think I'll shock myself. This is where they go like Eidolon. That's the noise you make when you're dying to an Eidolon. Here it comes. Okay. Well, I guess it's kind of the same as shocking yourself. If I draw red mana and I get to Thoughtseize the Man, Magma Spray that, I'll be happy. Okay, I don't. I probably just have to Jace. At least we know what we're up against. We're up against Feather, presumably just Boros. Could maybe have a 3rd colour. I've seen them splashing green or blue. Not seen any splashing black. And then that's all the colours. So that, you know, I don't need to list any other colours. Okay, well that's harder and harder to Magma Spray now, on account of it being swole AF. I believe that's the terminology. God damn. I don't like my position. I do not like this at all. Fatal Push. Red mana. It's better than nothing. Dreadbore is also better than nothing. Magma Spray currently looks like actual nothing. I think I'm going to kill the bigger one, which I'm sure is highly debatable. Like, letting them draw cards and stuff is not something I'm keen on, and there's a really good thing to Magma Spray. Ooh! Good. Good. Ah! That's so many damages. Am I just dead? 6 plus another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 11. So I'm not dead, but I'm awfully close. I might be chumping with Jace next turn. Good. Good. I'm happy about this. I'm so happy about this. I'm not bitter. I'm not being a grumpy pants. I'm loving life. That is a bolus next turn. As things currently stand, my plan is to chump here and take 1 going to 1. Something tells me that might not work. Might work. Yep, that gains haste, that's fine. I'd still like to block, please. Please. Little flippy. Little concedey. Oh dear. That was thorough. Okay. Well, these might only have a narrow window, but they're good for a little while. Noxious Grasps seem like the only really good card in my graveyard. In my graveyard? In my sideboard. And then, I guess, speed up a bit. Just dispel or negate good. No. Come on. Just draw all the removal, Chris. You can do it. We don't fear Michael M. Okay, this hand is legit. Obviously, Magma Spray is only good against, like, exactly the Boros Haste guy. It's not good against Dreadhorde or Feather. So I need to keep that in mind. Yay, they've got one. They've got 2. One of which is dead. All their cards are predicated upon them having creatures, and my game plan involves them not having creatures. Yep. That bitch is dead. Pew pew. Ooh, very helpful. Shall I use field first? I probably should. just because I want to fuel Tasiga. I feel like this start is more than good enough to beat them, but now I've said that, it just won't be. Oh. Yeah, there's a Titan strength missing from that list because I clicked too fast. I still doubt they can. They can't necessarily answer a Tasiga with any of the removal that I know that they play. I guess I just leave those two. Not that I can currently activate Tasiga, but I can Dreadbore a Feather, which won't work because of God's Willing. Yay! We just need to kill them. Yep. They did that post-combat very cunning. Very cunning! Sneaky snakes. Yay, no creatures for you. Same again. I like it when my creature combo based opponent can't resolve creatures. Pew 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 pew. Oh! Look at this. Oh, this is a hand. I'm so excited, I'm literally growling. Yeah. I'm going to Thoughtseize. I need to make sure they don't have anything that can survive Radiant Flames, basically. Pew pew. I maybe should have let them play it, but, like, seems better to me. Okay, that's one of the unknowns. Let's play this out in case I want to use it. Makes my Drowns and Tasigas and Delve better. Gearhulk was a nice draw. Okay. Nothing I can currently do about that. So I'm not going to do anything in case they have God's Willing to name red. Rather keep them tapped out. I think that makes sense. So if I go blue, black, red, Radiant Flames. Whoosh. Hopefully whoosh. Whoosh. That's the sound of, like, quickly spreading fire, killing zombie wizards. Learn your creature types, Chris. This is a source of great shame. Let's play this guy. And be painfully aware that he might not live, because Reckless Rage could kill it, but they'd have to have another creature that they were willing to use. Well, actually, I think it doesn't kill any of their creatures. But they would have to have another creature, is the point. They don't appear to? Okay, they're trying to just find a land, maybe. They go to cleanup, which I'm happy to see. I have literally nothing to get with the Gearhulk, which is a bit sad. Let's Probably still going to be my turn though, because closing the game out when you're ahead seems to be smart. Yep. They're lucky I haven't got copies of Fling in my deck. I'm loving this. This is great. Keep pumping my Kalitas, you sausage. That sounds naughtier than I meant it to. I do not expect random strangers off the internet to pump my Kalitas. This is annoyingly not lethal in 2 turns. It puts them to 1. I hope the random no value Gear Hulk is as threatening as I want it to look. I want that to look terrifying from an opponent's perspective. Sure. I guess I'll... Oh shit, I meant to use my Castle Vantress and I cocked up. Well, the Lord giveth. I am fairly convinced that Radiant Flames won't work. Blue. Give me like a Dreadbore or something. They were trying to cast something then. Dreadbore. I guess Fatal Push. Those have got to be the ones, haven't they? Let's try. Then when they have like a God's Willing or something, at least I haven't got punked out in combat. Yep. Okay, so I need to remember to Vantress in my own upkeep, I think, because I've got all this land and no cards in my hand. Yes, very sadly that will happen. But they are slowly getting less and less cards in hand, which is good. We have a 2-turn clock. Be a feather. A Gideon. Okay, well, at least I can Dreadbore it. Actually, this is fine. I can Dreadbore the Gideon and Radiant Flames the board. And be happy. Very, very happy. This is good. And that means I don't want to Vantress because I need all my mana, I should think. Oh, hang on. Can I do everything? 1, 2, 3. Done. Pew pew. Then I can attack the Gideon. I would concede if I was my opponent. Maybe they'll concede to the Bolus. Red, blue, black, black, black. Ooh! That was my smug head wobble. It's the way you feel when you draw a Gear Hulk you don't really even need. You done yet, Michael? You are. Excellent. One more. So we've got a positive result, which is okay. Yeah, I think this version of the deck feels a little bit better. I'm grateful for the magma sprays because we've played against small creatures every single round, and even though they haven't always been brilliant, they've been better than like the slots where they were before. They were just, I was playing two slightly subpar 4-mana sweepers. I was playing a Ritual of Soot and a Languish, or some, depending on how I felt, some quantity, either one or two of each of those. So sometimes it was just 2 Languish, sometimes just 2 Rituals, but it was always 2 bad 4-mana sweepers, and they were bad. They were always bad. Hand sucks. Well, it's like 1 black mana away from being fine, so I'm going to try it. Opt will get me there. It's basically Brainstorm. Lumbering Falls. I hope this isn't fucking Nexus. It might be. I don't want to play against Nexus. Nexus doesn't make me happy. It's a horrible game 1. Like game 2 we get Unmoored Ego, which is good, but it's not always enough. Yeah, this looks like filthy Nexus Hobbitses. Well, we should probably check how filthy. Fully. Okay. Deplorable. I guess we just one at a time go through their relevant spells. Fatal Push is literally a dead card. So I'm going to shock myself, and then I can cycle Fetid Pools if I don't have to cast Drown, which I don't expect to do. I don't think I'll have any legal targets for Drown. Okay. If they're blowing up their lands to kill my Jace, I'm a happy boy. If they want to do it, they have to... No, they don't have to do it now because it still has a CMC of 2 on the back. I always forget that because that didn't used to be the case. Come on, you coward. Oh, how helpful. That's another good one. Thought Erasure U. Blank with Kicker. Sure. Doesn't really bother me. So if I take the Wilderness Wreck and then... Oh, let's dismiss all that. And then I take the Dig, then their hand kind of sucks. And that's comforting. totally fair. Not annoyed. Not annoyed at all. Don't see a lot of benefit to running out the Kalitas, whereas Jace I can Thought Erasure them at some point. Oh! They're just running perfect. If their next draw is a fucking... Okay. Well, having said that Kalitas didn't benefit me, I've decided that providing a clock is probably a good thing. So, yeah, they can't cast Nexus this turn. Anything they can afford to cast, I can drown. And then I can just run out 2 threats. No, I can't because I don't have enough black. Oh, Chris. You're not very clever. Maybe I should have bottomed the Tasiga. I can play and activate a Tasiga. That's probably my best move. Yeah, I can play him out holding up Drown. Plus an activation. That seems like the best move I've got. Yep. Oh, what? Oh, they're just going for a sort of Nexus au natural, are they? Yep. I was under the impression this was not how you were supposed to play the deck. No, thank you. That's a horrible card for me to deal with. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. Like, what's shit? Push is shit. Thoughtseize is even shitter than Thought Erasure. I guess those are my worst ones. Go. Okay. Give me a card. Probably give me that Thoughtseize. That makes sense. Ooh. There's a clock of sorts. Get rid of that. And we can just make 2/2s every turn. No, we can't. Lumbering Falls. Still can't. So I can't attack this turn. Okay. I think we're ahead. It's really hard to tell. Plus that. Play this. Attack. We've got a bedevil for the, like, Tameo and Okos and stuff. I don't know if they play Oko. They for sure play Tameo. Or at least the versions I've seen do. Okay, they missed. So we're getting a bit lucky now. Attack for half their life total. Make a thingy. Make this thingy. Go. We'll assume this is like good draw step or bust for the opponent. This looks like a good draw step. Oh, it's just a 7 mana explore. It might just be a 7-mana cantrip, honestly. Boom! Got game 1 against a bad matchup. Negate, Dispel, Disdainful Stroke, all great. I guess the brutalities are probably good enough, the egos are good enough. I just need things that attack. I didn't see any Planeswalkers, so I'm not going to bring the Grasps in yet. Although I reason to believe they probably play Tameo. They're probably playing Tireless Trackers, so I can't leave in literal no removal. But I need to leave in not very much. Bedevil is probably fine. Dreadbore is probably good enough. Drown is probably good enough. Like 1 Fatal Push maximum. Nah, no Fatal Push. I'm hoping the Bedevils, the Dreadbores, the Drowns will be enough to control their tiny amount of creatures. That makes sense to me. I suppose it does mean that my Dreadbores might be spread a bit thin. But so be it. This hand is probably above the line because they're slow. Like Dispel is so good. Thoughtseize is really good. The tapped mana is really annoying, but we'll be alright. They've kept to 6. They don't normally do much for the first couple of turns. If they play a... I was going to say, the worst thing we could see would be an Azcanta, but they can't sneak it under anymore. Okay. Maybe they kept one that's short on mana, because that's the only reason I would take an opt. Oh, their mana is disastrous. This is great. 2 Display of Dominance. A Growth Spiral and a Corsair. I can kill the Corsair. Go. That's a good draw for the opponent. Not that I'm bitter. Go. I assume they just run out the Corsair, but I don't know. Nope, they are going to wait until they've got a chance to get some value out of it. Which is reasonable. Oh no, they didn't have double green because I'm an idiot. Permanence you control. Okay. But that doesn't say that the player can't. Blue, blue, black. You should cast Display of Dominance. So their hand is also a dig through time, that's good to know about. We can dispel that. Okay. So their hand is this plus a dig. Which they're very close to casting. They could just run out a naked Display of Dominance to fuel it. Or that. That also fuels it. That does everything. Very annoying. Okay, so I can dispel. Yeah, this is fine. Going for it on my upkeep makes some sense. Trying to tap me out, but unfortunately I have a 1 mana answer. How disappointing. Yep. Okay. And then they go, oh, display of dominance, we are clever. And I say that's fine, because it is. Because I'm going to Dreadbore it next turn. And then they can kill that. Oh no, it's a creature, so they can't kill it until I flip it. Okay, good. Thoughtseize could even let me protect the Jace, couldn't it? Wouldn't that be fun? Okay. You can waste your spell, that's fine. I assume that means their last card is a land, yeah. And then I can flip Jace. And I guess if I just ego dig through time, seems like the rudest thing I can currently do. Okay. Yeah, they're going to pump the blast zone to kill Jace, which is valid. But their exile zone does contain all their best cards. I'm going to lose this game now. Every time I get this fucking cocky, I get punished for being a cock. So, first of all, sorry viewers, I'm being a cock. And second of all, watch while I die and lose at Magic. Yep, you got it. This is like a tracker or something, a Tameo. Pretty good. Yep, they're fully on the fair plan. So, assuming they tick up Tameo, I'll be able to fire off and Into the Story this turn for 4 mana, which will be nice. Oh no, they're getting such value. This is a synergistic combo because they can name Blink of an Eye and guarantee to hit. This is how I like. One of the things I like better about Magic Arena is you get the, the little speech bubble pops up next to either the player or Tameo, I forget, that says Blink of an Eye, and I find that very helpful. Ooh, good ones. Those are good ones. So if I minus Jace, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So if I minus Jace on Dreadbore, I can Dreadbore the Tameo. They respond with Blink, and then I play Bolus and kill the Corsair, and then I have a Bolus in play. So I think that's fine. Take the Dreadbore then. So we'll try that. They'll be dead happy because they've beaten me with their blink of an eye. Yep. So that doesn't resolve. Now I go for 1, 2, black, black, black. Normally I'd be scared shitless of Search for Azcanta, but I've just got the Ugin in my hand, which is an excellent answer to it. And both these Planeswalkers should be too big for Blast Zone. So the hand is Tameo, Azcanta, and nothing else that I currently know about. Not that scared of Tameo. Got back Display of Dominance for some reason. Yep. Oh, because they can kill my Bolus. I was thinking it only did the protective mode. Okay. Get rid of that. Play this. Go. So I think that's still their hand, so I've been keeping up. Might be wrong. It's quite a close game, actually. Which it shouldn't be, right? We should be able to beat them when they've been stripped of digs and nexuses. What was the card name? 1, 2, 3, 4. So they hit a tracker. They must have named and hit tracker. So their hand is like Hinterland Harbour Tracker, one other card. I don't think there's any benefit. Oh, they must have not. What? Maybe they didn't run out Tracker. Maybe they. I don't understand. I swear it looked like Tracker was the card missing from the pile. Please be a good thing. Opt, okay, kind of a medium thing. Run this out. Got nothing else to do. Go. So we can threaten the Tameo, which probably means they just have to minus it to make sure they get a card. Maybe they're going to use Blast Zone or Vantress, or they drew. They're bumping it up to 6 to kill the Ugin. Okay, I can live with that. Hopefully they pop it soon, because I've got Gear Hulks, and if I draw them, I would like to be able to use them. Looks like they're using it immediately. This ability is tied to the Spirit token, not to the Ugin, so I will still get this card if my Spirit token dies. as the board sits, I've got a reasonable attack on the Tameo, because if I attack with both, I'm quite happy to trade my Kalitas for their tracker. I think it's a card of much higher value. And if they do that, then the Spirit's getting through unblocked, dealing 2 to Tameo. And if they don't, then if they block the Spirit and then crack the clue to grow the tracker, then the Tameo dies. The Tameo is dead anyway. Oh man, that's Cantor, that's good. That's really good. Okay, come on, Field of Ruin. Because I've only got the one Ugin and it's gone. Yep. Let's kill that. Boom, boom. Do some attacking. We've got a reasonable clock here. Don't think I'll play out my land, given the impression I've still got a spell. I assume they're going to use Axcantor immediately. Wilderness Reclamation would be annoying. That would be a really good one here. Lets them do all this stuff more than once per turn cycle. They just hit a Tameo, which is also pretty good. I imagine they cast it and bring back whatever they believe is their best card. Plussing seems foolish when you're down to like 17 cards, because then decking becomes a thing. Okay. Opponent has run well. I'm just going to attack with all. Don't really care if my opt token dies. I'd quite like to cast opt, and if they block the zombie, I just do this. Bang, bang, bang. There we go. They take 7. I think I'm probably behind at this point with the Azcanta, and the opponent having drawn extremely well. Yep. It's hard to say. They might not have enough gas left in their entire deck. That's the only plus point. So Wilderness Wreck is annoying, but I'm not sure how much actual good stuff they've got left. I suppose they've probably still got some random like trackers and coursers, and I don't think we've killed all the Tameos yet. I think there's still one in hand, right? Or I imagine that. Fairly certain I haven't imagined it and there's a Tameo on its way. Okay. Man, they're just getting through their library. Seems really dodgy. Blast Zone's not bad, is it? Because it lets them kill my Tasiga. They're seemingly happy to take a decent sized hit. Or are they going to... No, they can't make Blast Zone go high enough and then pop it now. Spell. Ego. Probably doesn't do anything. Keep attacking. I'm just going to name Tameo. I think it's the best card they've got left in their deck. 2. Yeah, I think there's one in their hand and one in their deck. There's nothing. Okay, so their deck is just garbage, as is their hand. This is very comforting. Go. So I don't think that they've got very they've got very many relevant cards left in their deck. They've also just not got very many cards left in their deck. Like, between the Tracker and the Lumbering Falls, not the Tracker, the Courser and the Lumbering Falls, they have to try and kill me in the next 10 turns. If they blow up the Blast Zone, they take these 2 out, and then they play the other Wilderness Wreck from their hand, and that's fine. We've got enough stuff left. We've got another Bolus. We've got the 2... what are they called? Torrential Gearhulks. We've got a Kalitas. Not a Kalitas, a Tasigur. We've got enough stuff left to draw. We've got a Dig Through Time. Probably Torrential Gearhulk would be the best possible. Tassigur's nice. Cast him. 1. Actually, I don't want to exile that. 1, 2, 4. Black. Ego. Yeah, that's what I'm going to exile. So I think all those cards left are pretty good. Blue, other stuff. Yay! Cool. Well, that went pretty good in the end. It was kind of a weird finish. So yeah, we ended up going 4-1. Pretty solid league. And this was, once again, this was the deck. So I think I'm slowly getting the build a bit closer to being right. And the bans have been very kind, because they keep banning the overpowered decks that are beating me. So slowly but surely the deck is going to become competitive. I hope you stick around for long enough for that to happen. I will keep grinding the old Grixis ladder, trying to get somewhere with it. And yeah, appreciate any views, comments, likes, subscriptions. You guys have been really, really supportive, and it means the world, because my expectations coming into YouTube were low. I didn't really know what was going to happen, and we've already exceeded them. So yeah, thanks again to everyone that contributes, and see you all next time.